What's going on, everybody? I'm Blocker 120, and this is Foam World Order. I want to thank y'all all for coming through and hanging out with me in my armory, what I'm gonna call it, and talk about blasters. Just hang out. I want y'all to have that feel of when you're with me, like how it would sort of be if we was actually hanging out with each other. Of course, I wouldn't have this table, which is a little bootleg table I put together, but I just want us to feel like a family, a blaster family, like as we should be. And if you don't have a blaster, you should definitely get your hands on one. The next time you're walking through the store and you're walking down the aisle shopping around for the house and a blaster catches the corner of your eye and you're like, wow, that would look cool. Just know, I'm almost 1,000% sure it would look much, much cooler at your home, unboxed, put together, and you just blasting off a few darts everywhere. It's a pretty fun thing. Like the first time you get one, like you're gonna be back over there at the store. You're gonna be buying your second and third one. But again, I would like to thank all of you for coming through and hanging out with me again. Today we're gonna talk about another two blasters, and I gotta say, like, both of them were pretty fun to blast. The first one that we have up is the Adventure Force Conquest Pro. This blaster, when it came out last year, it came out for $40, and that wasn't too bad considering that it's a pro blaster. Now you're getting a lot of power for this. The blaster came with one magazine, which, you always would want an extra one, but most blasters do only come with one magazine. And it came with some darts. And it has a removable muzzle brake on it with a nice little design to it. If you don't know, most the Adventure Force and Dart Zone, outside of the Nexus Pro and the Ion Pro, the muzzle brakes are different. And the trigger designs are different on each one of the blasters. Moving forward, the way this blaster is designed, you load from the rear of this blaster as opposed to an underneath load, maybe a side load, even a top load. You load this blaster from the rear. This blaster, though, the mag release, I feel, should not be there. It is too far. When you're holding it and you're in action and you go, you're not getting it. This mag release needs to be pulled back towards this way, and you're not gonna get that here unless you remove your hand from the handle and pull it, or you use your opposite hand and pull it. The mag will gravity drop face this way. It will gravity drop. I give it that. Has two top rails. Came with a front and a back sight. No under rails to put anything on. It's okay. But this sling attachment point, this right here is very important to me. I feel like with blasters that can be used as primaries, they should always have a sling attachment point. This one actually does. So I'll trade them the fact that I don't like where they have their mag release at for the fact that they included a sling attachment point. I'll trade them that. The handle, the priming handle, it's not my favorite. As I mentioned in my first video, this style of hand priming handles is not my favorite. I don't know, I can't exactly tell why. It just doesn't feel as comfortable for me. Maybe some of you actually prefer this and this is the style you like to go with. I'll go even further. I prefer this look without the muzzle brake. My personal preference. The handle right here is cosmetic. This is not really for a sling that you would buy. You can make it a sling point if you so wish, and you can also do that with this front rail as well. You can also make this a sling point, but the sling will not be universal. Like, it would not be one that you could just buy a Nerf sling and just clip it on there and attach, as this one would, if I didn't miss like I just did. I'm a little tired, guys, you gotta pardon me. But it has a sling attachment point nonetheless, which is absolutely amazing for me. I'm telling you, I just like this blast so much better without the muzzle on it. Some people like with the muzzle, some don't. I'm just saying me personally. As I said, we're here hanging out in my room and we're talking about as if we're hanging out together. You came through, I appreciate that. Now, when I did my performance test, I have two blasters I'm going to be demonstrating today. I'm going to be, talking about today, not demonstrating so much so, because the time of this recording, it's a little bit late, so I don't want to fire off too many darts and disturb the neighbors. So the darts that I chose to go with darts that I felt like were easily accessible to everybody that's within this hobby sport. So I went with the Ember darts that actually came with the Conquest Pro. I went with the Game Face Prime Quick darts, Ruby darts, Worker Gen 3s, Bamboo 2.0s, and some cut down waffle tips. I put all of these through the Chrono for the Conquest Pro and for the other blaster. And I got some pretty good readings. Pardon the book. I'm still very much new at this. I just want to get into this and get hanging out with you guys. Now, for the Ember darts, I got 132 to 146 FPS. For the Ruby darts, I got 155 to 157 FPS. For the Worker Gen 3s, I got 142 to 147 FPS. For the Bamboo 2.0s, I got 162 to 169 FPS. Now to cut down waffle tips, I got 143 to 152. The Game Face Primes, I got 141 to 143. Now, quick side note, the cut down waffle tips, this is more about, first of all, they sell a thing to actually cut them down. The one that I saw was 10 darts at a time. It was fairly cheap, $20. I'm gonna look it up again and include the link in the bio. But they sell it, I didn't buy it. Instead, I just decided to take out my knife, and I was like, I'm gonna don't do this at home, first of all. Regardless of your age, I've actually cut myself, and I'm old enough to know better than to do that, and I did it anyway, so don't do that. But these darts, the performance really varies, as you know, on the condition of the darts. But because I feel like, and I just dropped it, we don't need it, but I feel like because the dart was not made as a short dart initially, it may have really affected it, and the condition of your dart is always going to affect the performance. But you let me know. But it was very fun to shoot. I didn't have any hiccups except for with the Game Face Prime darts. When I was shooting it, the dart actually got stuck here, where even with the dart jam door access, I couldn't get to it. I had to wiggle it around, take the magazine out, wiggle it around, and it finally fell out. It wasn't that serious, didn't affect the performance, and it's still a beast. The blaster, as I said, the mag release, not really my favorite thing where it's located at, because it just takes everything out of place for me. You can swap out different short dart magazines. You would have to push it in if you have a shorter than a 15, I believe. As for my testing, that's what it felt like. And I even have here a katana mag, no problem. No problem feeding, loading, went in smoothly. Now that is a pretty good blaster. They had it on sale at the time of this recording, September 7th, 2022, and they're out of stock. They had this for $20. Gone. I already knew that was going to happen. It's not a surprise to me. But overall, great blaster. I like the design. I like the feel of it. I absolutely love the fact that they added a sling attachment point to this blaster. That is a great, so much so that, like I said, I will forgive this mag release location because of that. Now, moving on. The second blaster that I am featuring today is what I would say is the upgrade to the Conquest Pro, and that's the Dart Zone Max Dictator. I would call this an upgrade because off the rip, I haven't even took nothing off the rip. The stuff that I complained about, where the mag release is located at, right here. Look at that. I could get to it. No problem. No problem. Smooth, nice, no problem. The handle that I like. Now I could feel like I'm playing the guitar or something like that. I don't play guitar. I do not know how to play guitar. But if I wanted to, I could act. This is what it would feel. It's a comfortable feeling. It's just a more comfortable feeling to me versus the other grips that they have. It just is my personal opinion. Now let's get into it. The blaster came with the blaster itself, two 12-round magazines, a magazine flip clip adapter, an aggressive muzzle brake, and let me move this out the way to not get confused, and another pair of the Dart Zone Max glasses. If you see my first video, you will see I'm not a fan of these as much, but that's just my personal preference. And then again, like I said in the first video, I like this blaster even without these glasses, just like the first one. I feel like them even including the glasses is a great show of responsibility. They understand the power behind their blasters, and they're trying to remind you to always practice safety when using these blasters, especially in performance with other people. I know I should probably have them on right now. I mean, yeah, you should, because there's been times I've had a dart deflect back, but I'm taking these chances so you don't have to. Now, moving on. Putting this together, putting the back sights, front sights on, very easy. They just slide right on, no problem. They don't give you no issues, no resistance. The mag adapter is my only real issue with this blaster. Besides the fact that they took away the sling, like your predecessor had a sling. Why take that away? Why remove that? Why give me all this back and none of that? Like, I don't, like, it is what it is. But moving forward, the mag adapter, it is one directional mag adapter. If you try to flip the mag and insert it into the mag adapter in any other way, you will cause stress marks onto the mag adapter, onto the flip clip adapter. I apologize for keep saying mag adapter, but you will cause stress marks on it. And this plastic on this, honestly, is very flimsy. It is not that strong at its edges. More stable at its center. It's solid at its center, but the edges is very flimsy. So when not in use, put it away. Don't leave it around. Don't think about put it away. Or else, you just won't have it anymore. The reason why I do not like the fact that it is only one directional is because when you load this in, and it's time to reload, my instinct is to go like this. Or even like this. Like I come out, I'm a flip. That's my instinct. That's what I want to do. But you can't. You have to, especially if I'm gonna drop it out like this, I'm gonna, my instinct is to go like that, but I can't do that. I have to rotate like this. You have to. You have no other option. But I can let that go. Like I'm a fair guy. Like and honestly, like these aren't really reviews. This is just me talking about blasters and having fun with you guys, and we're all hanging out. One thing I like about this is this right here, this mag, you can drop this in here, and as long as you're in the right, let me make sure I'm in the right direction, it will lock into place. It will lock into place. Nice smooth release, but it will lock into place. Every single, like this, you don't have to think about it or nothing. It knows where it's going. It knows what it's going. I just realized this whole time I didn't even have the muzzle brake on it. I actually like the muzzle brake. I know on the Conquest I prefer it off. This one, I'll be honest, either or I like it. It looks great to me with and without it. The overall design, we all know where this design originated from, but it is great. Comfortability, good, save for this stock. The edge of this stock right here just doesn't feel that comfortable when you're compressing it. And if you're going to be running a game, and I've seen the time frames of the games that are played, they go for hours, which is why earlier you heard me call this a hobby sport, because people that are running games, I commend you. You're running out there for hours in the heat, running and blasting, ducking, maneuver, everything in the heat, different weather, and it's a sport. It's a sport. I don't care. People could be like, it's a hobby, it's for kids, and I would just say, go play a game. Just go play one game with them. Go do one game with them. Enjoy it. But back to this stock. This stock will be uncomfortable in that situation. I happen to have lying around a piece of foam arts and crafts construction, and this thing right here is like very thin, if you can see. It's very thin. Literally I didn't do nothing. I just took it, put this here, just to see and literally 1,000% major difference. So if you decide to, I would glue it. If you wanted to glue it, maybe double side tape it for games so it's not that permanent. But something this simple and this little makes all the difference in the comfort and feel. Of course you would cut it out to size so you wouldn't be walking around with this on the back end with a hole through it. You don't want all of that. But this blaster right here, it is a great blaster. I would use this as a primary. Like, I have not been to any wars or anything like that. I plan on doing that. I plan on getting it, but this would be one I would bring. I would bring this as a primary. The way you could switch magazines is very easy, and also because of this spacing right here, I feel like a lot of thought went into this blaster somewhat. But then again, it's, you know what? Let's just stick with that. I feel like a lot of thought went into this blaster. But you can swap magazines, and the E's, like I said, they all fall in there. But the shorter magazines will not do that. They will slide out. But because of this space right here, we're good. Because of that spacing. Now, oh, almost lost my mag. Now, this is, and that was a Katana mag I just threw in there just to show that it'll work fine. Even the magazine that came with the Conquest Pro, even with that little lip in there, will still load up in here. No problem. That one though, I will say, just that magazine, because of that lip, getting the mag out, you will have to give it a little love tap. But overall, two great blasters. I love when Dart Zone does a redo of an old blaster, a previous blaster, and they actually up it. Like, it is really good. Now, the Chrono Performances on this blaster, before I forget, like I said, I get sidetracked sometimes. Please forgive me. The Chrono Performances on this one, this is my book, by the way. Don't judge my book anyway. The Chrono Performances on this, with the Ember darts, I got 151 to 153. With the Ruby darts, I got 154 to 161. With the Worker Gen 3 darts, I got 143 to 147. With the Bamboo 2.0 darts, I got 165 to 169. With the cut down waffle tips, I got 110 to 132. And with the Game Face Prime Quick darts, we got 139 to 143. Those are the FPS numbers we got for the Dart Zone Max Dictator. Now, comfort, everything, I gotta pick between the two if I had to. I don't want to make them compete because in my eyes they're brothers. You know, the older brother, the younger brother, the older brother showed the younger brother what needed to be done. That's why I feel like the younger brother came out a little bit on top, because he seen somebody do it before. So he knew where to fix those mistakes at. So, but like I said, I'm not lying. This is a great blaster. Front heavy, so you know, which is why I will be like, that sling attachment point is why I would like it, because you will have to run with this blaster in your hands. And I still would bring this as a prime and use it as a primary. I'll figure out, or I'll just design a holster for it if I need to and stuff it in a holster. This thing is good. I love this blaster. I love this blaster. I was walking around all day with this, just for no reason. I wasn't even blasting darts half the time, and I was just walking around with it. It is a dope blaster. But that's just basically how I feel. And again, I appreciate y'all for coming through, hanging out with me. It's always a good time. I love sharing with y'all and showing y'all the different blasters I have. I love talking blasters. I always leave a like, comment, subscribe, talk your mess if you want to. You know, I appreciate it. I just love the interaction. This is a great hobby sport, and I'd like to see more people get involved with it, especially with their families, spend more time with their families and closeness. And I would just like to hear y'all feedback on how I'm doing and everything like that. Thank you.